Hey everyone, this is James again. I recorded my last weight loss video kind of as a one-off. I just wanted to tell my story in case there's other people out there that were struggling with the same stuff I was, and just let people know what was going on. Um, and I got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of people that said that they found it helpful, and some people asked that I keep going with it. So I thought I would give that a shot. Um, I'm going to try and record a new video once a week and release it hopefully on Sundays because I came up with the name Self Improve Sunday and now I'm too stubborn to change it, so I think that's what we're going to go with. And yes, before anybody says it, I know this is the second video in the series, and um, I'm already releasing it not on a Sunday, so we're already off to a great start. Anyways, um, today I wanted to spend some time talking about routine. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, how routine is more powerful than Poutine. So I think we've all been told at some point, all of us trying to lose weight, how important it is to have a good routine. Um, it takes 21 days to develop a routine. So that's 3 weeks of forcing yourself to do something, consciously having to do it, um, before it becomes an unconscious effort. After 21 days, it becomes a little bit easier. You transition into the mindset that this is something you're going to do. It doesn't feel like an inconvenience anymore. It's part of your day. It's part of your routine. So um, when you come up with how you're going to do your weight loss, you need to come up with something that's going to last you at least 21 days. I've seen a lot of weight loss plans fail, a couple of mine included, in the first 3 weeks because people are in a hurry to lose the weight that they have to lose. So they say to themselves, I'm going to go full tilt. I'm going to hit the gym 7 days a week. I'm going to drop down to the minimum number of calories. And they do that for the first week, and determination pushes them through. Then the second week, it gets a bit harder to do. You're getting tired because you've gone from doing nothing to doing everything, and you haven't given your body a chance to adjust. And by week 3, when you should be transitioning into the new realm of this is my new routine, this is my new normal, instead you start to taper off a little bit. And, you miss a day or two at the gym because you're tired and the days have been long, and you relax a little bit on your food because you've done so well for the first couple of weeks and you've earned it. And then week 4 it gets worse, and within a month or two, the entire routine is dead. So when it comes down to routine and weight loss, there's 2 important sides of it. There's the food and the exercise. So I'm going to start off by talking about the food. Food routine is super important. All routine is super important, but the food routine is especially important because you need to make sure that you have a plan that you can stick to, which is something I've been repeating all along, but it is the important part. Some people come up with a routine where it's just, I'm going to eat 1,800 calories a day, and that's my routine. So don't need to know exactly what I'm going to have, but I need to know at the end of the day that everything I've eaten is going to be 1,800 calories or thereabouts. So if they're going to have a big dinner, if they're having 1,000-calorie dinner, then their breakfast and lunch are 400 calories each, and they make up for it that way. The next step up is a little more serious, a little more monitored. You split up your day. So I'm going to eat 1,800 calories a day, but I'm going to have 500 calories for breakfast, 500 calories for lunch, and 500 calories for supper. So whatever I pick has to fit in with that, and then I can have 250 calorie snacks during the day, and there's my 1,800 calories. Then there's the people that get absolutely hardcore into the routine. And for the people that can pull this off, it works very, very well because it takes all of the guesswork out of what they're trying to do. These are the people that say, I'm going to eat the same meals day in, day out. Same breakfast, same lunch, same supper every single day. And there's no guesswork involved. You already know which meals work for you. You already know how many calories they are. You eat the same thing every single day. And it can be more boring for people, but if you can find food that you can enjoy and you can last a year or 2 on doing that way, then it's very helpful. For me, the answer was somewhere in between the second and the third one. So I do divide my days up calorie based, But I usually start every day out with the same breakfast. So I get up in the morning, I cook myself the same breakfast, and then my lunches are a little bit variable. So I've got 4 or 5 lunches that I'll sort of alternate throughout the week and throughout the month. And then my suppers are a little more flexible. If I know I'm having a bigger supper, then I'll skip having 150 calorie snacks during the day, so that I can make up for it. And I always make sure that at the end of the day, my calories are about where I need them to be. Um, so that's the way it works for me. I find that by starting off my breakfast every morning in a routine and having the same breakfast that I know sets me up for success, then if I'm at work and somebody's sending out chocolates or we're having cake because it's a coworker's birthday, I have an easier time saying no because I've already been successful during the day, and I would be throwing away all the success that I've already had first thing in the morning by giving up on it later on in the day. So a big thing when it comes to food as well and keeping your routine is preparation. You need to be ready. You need to plan ahead as to in terms of what you're going to have for meals. So what's helped my wife and I out quite a bit is every Sunday we barbecue up enough food, during the summer anyways, we barbecue enough food to last us pretty much through the week. And that's for lunches and suppers. Because one thing that used to absolutely kill us when we were doing weight loss is we would be on the way home and it would invariably turn into the same conversation everybody else has had a million times. What would you like for supper? Well, I don't know. What do you want for supper? And it would go back and forth, and the only thing we would agree on is that neither of us really felt like cooking. And then the next thing you know, oh, we'll have a treat night tonight. And all the work from the day is unwritten by the fact that you have, a takeout dinner that's not particularly healthy, and you swear that the next day you'll do better with it. So by taking the time Sunday, and it doesn't take a lot more time because we're cooking anyways, so you end up cooking once, and it takes a little bit more time than cooking one meal, but you get enough food for all the meals. So by getting everything ready on Sunday, the discussion's now on the way home, what do you want to have from what we've already cooked? And the nice thing is, if we cook 4 or 5 different foods, it means if we're not in the mood for the same thing, we don't have to eat the same thing. All the food's in there, so if we cooked burgers and steak, and I feel like a burger and she feels like steak, we don't have to eat the same thing. So it works out pretty well. So preparation is an absolute huge part of the food thing, but if you can get the preparation down, everything else kind of falls into place. With exercise, it's a little more difficult because when it comes to food, everybody needs to eat. So making better food decisions is just a conscious effort. You don't have to find time necessarily to make better food decisions. You just need to do it. Whereas exercise, most of us that are trying to lose weight have gotten to where we are by not really needing to exercise. Because you don't need to exercise to live, but you need it to be healthy. So you consciously have to make the time to do it. Most of my exercise in the past has turned out the way everybody else's has who's in my boat. I'm going to start the gym. I go and I get a gym membership, and I show up and I get on the treadmill or on the bike, and I start, and I'm alone with my thoughts. I'm just walking on a treadmill. When you're walking the same place over and over again, the scenery never changes. Everything looks exactly the same. And invariably I would look down at my watch and be like, oh my God, only 5 minutes has passed. I have 40 more minutes of this to do. And so after the first week or two, even if I was only going 3 or 4 times a week, my motivation would die off because it was boring. It wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying it. So what worked for me was doing classes instead of just going to the gym by myself. So when my wife and I started, we knew each other in the class, and we could talk and do stuff during the class. But then when you're attending the same classes, 2 or 3 times a week, every week, there's a lot of people that attend the same classes, and you get to know them. So you start talking, you make friends. The next thing you know, the entire group's laughing, joking along. And the big eye-opening moment for me with that was the day that, opposite of how it used to be when I was on the treadmill, I looked up at the clock and realized that 40 minutes had passed, and there's only 5 minutes left in the class, and I honestly had not felt the passage of the time. It just went by so quick. When your mind's not on what you're doing, it becomes a lot easier. And the big thing with that too is surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. when I go to these classes, everybody's there for the same reason. We're all doing the same class. Nobody feels judged. And you also tend to push yourself a little bit harder because, you know, it's an unwritten thing, but at least for me, you know, you never want to feel like you're the first person to give up in the class or the first person to take a break. So you push yourself hard, and it really helps. And you don't have to worry about temptation. There's nobody there trying to say, oh, we'll just take a night off from exercising. Everybody's there for the same reason. We're all pushing each other. And when you get to know people in the class, they notice when you're not there. You know? And there's been times where I missed a week worth of classes, and I get messages from people on Facebook asking if everything's okay, what's going on. So surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals and letting that be part of your routine is a huge deal to being able to push yourself through the exercise barriers. So I hope this information on routine helps you guys find a new normal. I hope you find it helpful. If you liked the video, click the like button, and if you want to be notified when I put out new content, which I'm hoping is going to be every Sunday, but I'm so good at doing that right now that this video is coming out, I don't even know when. But you can click the subscribe button and you'll get notified whenever I put out something new. If you have a topic you want me to cover in a future video, or you have questions, toss them in the comments below. I'll do my best to field it at some point. And until next time, thanks for listening. Bye.